Okay guys, so the last section, submissions, definitely the one that everyone's more interested in. Some really good submissions from here. I do a couple, actually we'll show a couple different counters to some funky ones. But Neil really likes Chimera's from half guard. Great move for big guys or strong guys. I will do him at times, but he's definitely the guy that does more of the Chimera stuff and more of the half guard stuff in general anyways. So I'll let him go through it.
So I'm going from here. What they're going to typically want to do is try and put the hand to the knee, my knee, to try and pass. And that's why I'm grabbing that here. One on the wrist, and I'm coming up.
So just like we were doing before with the Chimera sweep, it's the same thing, only he's going to do it from guard, and he's keeping his shield in. So it's in my ribs or underneath my ribs, it's kind of stretching me out. So one more time, if he needs to get my grip just like before, he might grab it and sit up, or he might push into me to grab it. But now I'm I'm all getting squished up.
Right now I'm just pushing my knee right into his ribs. I can feel it. And I'm going to bring his elbow up to my face, and then up to the ceiling.
So Chimera's a nice one. I'm gonna do the thing that Neil does to me all the time. I'm gonna poo-poo his move. I actually like when people Chimera me from guard, so I'm gonna do the counter to that. And this is definitely gonna be an issue. So he starts going for that Chimera. Now, if I want to bring my hand in to my belly, okay, but I need that knee off of my hip. So I'm gonna take my right hand and push on Neil's hip. I'm gonna shrimp in and put my knee in front of his hip, and then I lean back. Okay, so this position, all I'm doing is this, but he still has the Chimera grip. For a long time, I tried to do this without sitting down, and it wouldn't work very well. And you'll see why. If I can get this, his hand would slip out. Okay, it doesn't work quite so well. So if he can go for his grip, but I keep my hand in. Now remember, he wants my elbow high and then my hand out. That's going to be the issue. So he wants my hand behind my back, and I want to keep my butt be in front of my stomach in front of my hand. So hand on his hip to create that space, and I sit back and put my knee in. Well, now I'm not worried about my hand going behind my back so much because I have the ground protecting it, but there's nothing protecting Neil's. So this is a nice little counter to the Chimera Master Behring showed me like several, I don't know, 6-8 years ago. Really nice. Sometimes you might have a hard time getting that knee in, but that's really important. His knee is what's making this Chimera really stretch me out and make me weak in this position. If I can keep my hand in front of his belly, or my belly, push his hip to relieve the pressure, drop to my side, so I can create a little space and put my knee in. Now I can use the ground to protect my arm, and I'm just doing this motion to finish the Chimera. So it's a nice, it's a little surprise Chimera. So you can see, like, for a guy that likes to play half guard in Chimeras, and a guy that kind of likes to counter Chimeras, this kind of situation will happen fairly often, right? So keep an eye out for it. If the guys are starting to, if Neil's on the bottom, now we're focusing on Neil again, and he's going for this Chimera, and I'm starting to try and push on his hip. He needs to sweep, he needs to drop me over there. And now, yeah, he's gonna squish and grind this down. Right, and now he's got his Chimera on that side. Oh, he's looking over my head, and just to hold my chest down, or my head down. So keep a mind out for that. If they start sitting back, look to time it to roll them over. Some guys are good at posting out though, so it's gonna be a fight, right? It's gonna be a struggle. Next we got some chokes. So half guard's a nice position, just because you're so close to guard, right? And if he has this underhook, or you're having trouble getting it, you can usually get the whizzer on Neil and just feed the grip in. So then hand goes to the meat of the jacket right here. And to finish this choke, you can do it like a push, or maybe even grab inside here and push. And that's fine. It's definitely more of a bow and arrow style of choke, and I'm gonna have more leverage with that. But if I can, I wanna try and get underneath Neil to finish this choke. The pressure will come from this arm pulling and this arm lifting. Okay, so I can push into him. That's gonna take a little bit of effort. If I lift my elbow up, it'll help put the wrist on the carotid artery. And if I can get underneath them, this will help with the choke. So again, he has the underhook, but I'm able to keep on my side. One of the things that'll help me stay on the side is the knee. Okay, work that hand in, grab, or I like these ones. I know they might seem a little bit rough, and they kind of are goonish, he says, but I like it. So I don't know what to tell you. It's a nice choke. If you're having trouble choking someone, stick a fist in there. but grab the part here, dive underneath, and then try it. You almost like you're gonna use it as a sweep and finish on top. Okay, so if you get the sweep, and sometimes you will, because the guy's gonna want to push on your elbow, it's a nice way to slow the guy down. So if they do have an underhook, really try to get on your side though, right? That's gonna make that rolling motion a lot easier. Omoplatas. I'm a big guy, I'm a long guy. There's not one that I'm a super big fan of, but some of the smaller guys like it. Neil goes for a whizzer, okay? So he'll like this one, and I'm just grabbing his sleeve here or his wrist, one of the two. One of the reasons I don't like this is I have long arms, so when my arm's inside, it's nothing much for me to grab onto, okay? But I'm gonna try and grab onto the sleeve. I'm gonna lift Neil up and throw him over and go to here. This is my omoplata. Sometimes it turns to reverse armbar. I'm gonna get Neil to do it because the dynamics, shorter to taller, work way better. So, and Neil likes this position with the whizzer. So he's sitting up and I do a whizzer. He's just grabbing the cuff right here. Now all he's gotta do is keep that knee and let me pass. He's gonna sweep and dive underneath me. He pushes and dives underneath. Oh, this is great. Yes, oh there. Yeah. Okay. My arm is bent, it's gonna be a nice Kimura, and he's got the back of his head on the back of my shoulder. So one more time, Neil's gonna do this one. Okay, so Neil gets the underhook, and I go to whizzer him, and he grabs my sleeve. He pushes with his knee, and rolls underneath, yes, okay. And there's the omoplata. So if you have long arms, you gotta watch out for that gap. Small guys, especially guys, maybe not like a Neil side. Neil's really strong, big chest. He might not like to dive underneath people so much and go almost inverted. He really likes the Kimuras and some of the other sweeps. But you get some of those lanky guys or the smaller guys, they just spin underneath you. That's definitely something that you want to watch out for, is the guys cutting out underneath and going for that omoplata. So it's a sneaky one, but it's a good one to invest in. So you got some chokes from there. You got a solid Kimura and a counter to Kimura. And if you work on it, a counter to the counter to Kimura, and you have a nice omoplata there. There is there's a bunch of other chokes. If you start playing with the collar, you're gonna see a lot of other chokes there. Half guard's a nice position for sweeping. You can see that a lot. And then we didn't even talk about going to deep half guard. We'll just address that very quickly. Neil's gonna do it because I'm not a deep half guard guy. But Neil's, when you go deep, he's going deep. So he dives under, and now he's right here. So it's almost like an X guard kind of thing, but I'm really low. This deep half guard sucks. He stretches people out. You can go for your electric chair and get the tap. He can pass this leg around his head and then get to my back. So some people really like this electric chair, or sorry, deep half guard. It's easy to get underneath guys and start rolling them. So it can be a pretty dynamic game if you like playing that game.